right over here to Illinois. Now, this is a coach who I like for a long time. I like Brent Bielema, but he's like what they call plain potato salad. Like he's pro set, he's so slow. He's very efficient at what he does. He can manage games. I really like this guy, offensive line guy too. He's got a Luke Altmaier coming back, and he's got a stacked line coming back right there, which is pretty good. Um, I agree with most of the stuff that's going over here. He has 10 returners on offense, 9 on defense. He's in his 5th year. Last year he was 10-3. I mean, many could say this is his opportunity, or some could say this is his last chance. There's a lot you could say at this point. 5 years in it. This is a purebred Bielema. What I say is, I'm gonna sit back and watch. What you get out of this season is what you're gonna get out of Bielema for his tenure here at Illinois. So can he return to 10-3? Quite possible. Can he exceed 10-3? Maybe. Will he fall below 10-3? Quite possible. So that's how I see it. What you think, Moose?
All right. Well, I mean, the first thing I got to do is will all the Luke Altmaier doubters please rise? I doubted this dude, man. I mean, going into last year, I was like, dude, this guy sucks. Like, he is going to lose a lot of games. And all he did was manage their way to a lot of wins. And he comes back as an experienced quarterback that knows how to win games. And I mean, all of that is great. And you look at the running back position, it was a 300-headed monster last year of McCray, Lafferty, and Fegan, with true freshman Valentine getting in. And only guy that leaves is McCray. The other 3 do return, so there's more experience there. Receiving depth is going to be a little bit of a question. You lose the top 2, but you brought in some solid transfers. Hudson Clemente was the number 1 receiver over at West Virginia, but West Virginia wasn't really a passing offense. One of the ones I really like is Mario Sanders. Mario Sanders is an intriguing JC All-American last year that came in here, and I think he could kind of emerge as one of the unknown, surprising wide receivers that a lot of people are going to jump on their props. So Mario Sanders is a name to write down and potentially track as a guy that might just jump off the page in terms of production. The big thing here, and I'm sure I'm not really giving any kind of breaking news, but Brett Bielema has been an offensive line guy, and he's bringing back all 5 starters along with an NFL prospect at each tackle spot. So the pass rush, the pass protection, which last year was super inconsistent. They allowed 32 sacks on the year, and they had 4 games of 4+ sacks, and 3 of them were against opponents. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. Penn State was going to get you, Oregon was going to get you, and Minnesota was going to get you. But they also gave up 4+ to Purdue. And that's not good. I mean, any kind of bad production or negative production against Purdue is bad. It's not good. So Barry Looney returns for his 4th year as OC. He's been with Bielema for a while. Like, they go back quite a bit. You're returning almost 70% of the yards from last year. The rushing attack should be very good. You do have a legit threat at wide receiver. You also have a veteran quarterback. The defense is going to be fantastic. You returned Gabe Jackas, who's a 3rd-team All-American last year. You also have a Wisconsin transfer in James Thompson, who was a starter for Wisconsin last year. And, I mean, they have legit pass rush this year, which they kind of had last year. Last year they had 31 sacks, and that could go up this year. They could end up with 35. They may even get up to the 40 threshold with the amount of pass rushers that they have in that lineup. And it's going to be Jackas and Scott. Those are going to be the 2 guys that you're going to look at as 2 guys that are going to be coming in. Xavier Scott was a 1st-team All Big Ten last year. And they also have another legit linebacker in Alec Bryant, who's a top 30 linebacker prospect. And the secondary is legit. They gave up only 225 passing yards last year. This year, they are preseason ranked as the 13th best secondary in the country, and they are returning their DC. So this is a veteran group that returns a ton of production from a team that went 10-3 last year. And this is one of my, I'm not sure if you can call him a dark horse, but I'm going to call him a dark horse. This is one of my dark horses to win the Big Ten.
Nice. Now, Wine, I'm gonna lead you into this one right here. Now, and you just take it from there. So, they saying that this Illinois team, the reason why they may be up this high, because you haven't revealed, your top 10 yet. But this Illinois team right here is that they have a pretty good schedule considering being in the Big Ten. They miss Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, some of the top ones in there. So how do you think that impacts how you outlook on Illinois going in here?
I like Illinois going into 2025, guys. They're Moose already touched on it. This offensive lineman. I mean, you got NFL draft prospects everywhere, and Brent Bielema is an offensive lineman guy. So the camaraderie around Luke Altmaier, who has been making some money these last couple of years through some NIL deals. I've heard him been taking out the offense. He hangs out the offensive lineman a lot. I like the continuity that they have already built over there. And in this offseason, it looks like they're in the right direction to have a good season. I mean, I like this team that they brought in. They bring a wide receiver in Hudson Clemens from West Virginia. He had 51 catches in 2024, 741 yards and 5 touchdowns. They grabbed 3 different defensive linemen who have played a lot of Power 5 football and are experienced at the Power 4 level. Edge rusher James Thompson from Wisconsin. Look out for him coming off the edge right here. I think he's going to get a lot of quarterback hurries and sacks this season. I think he's due for a big year. I know Moose touched on him as well. I like the pieces they brought back. Brent Bielema, I believe in him as a football coach. I think that they're going to have a good season, guys. I have Illinois. They're 4 for me. Right behind Oregon at 3, it's Illinois. I like Illinois this season. I think that they have a good schedule ahead of them this season. My only losses I have are Ohio State, potential Washington, and a potential Wisconsin. But this could be a 10-2. This could be a 10-2 team when it's all said and done, guys. With their schedule, I think they have a very favorable schedule. Is their win total really 7.5, boss?
I thought it went up. I thought it went up to 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I did those things early in the end of June. Some of this stuff.
You're good. I was curious because I was going to say I will hammer that for 10 years. But 8.5 is a little more reasonable. I do think 9 games is the minimal they'll win. I think they should win 10, though. I think 9, it's still a good season for them. I think this Illinois team has a lot going for them this season with the continuity. We'll see what happens next season when they lose a lot of these guys. This Illinois program, They've been kind of building from the ground up, and they're going to lose a lot of these guys who have a lot of experience, including Luke Altmaier, who I will say too, I thought he wasn't that good going into last year. He proved me wrong, and I like everything he's saying in this last offseason, hanging out with his offensive linemen, just doing all the right things, I think, to build a winning program over there in Illinois. So I like the Illinois team this year.
There it is right there. I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna try to speed it up. We already been in here a smooth hour. I want to try to get out of here so we can complete our days. My man Wine Time is an expectant father, so he got different duties he got to do nowadays. So
he's on duties.
Yeah, he's on duties in a while. But let's keep it moving.